Hey guys, Carolyn here. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a rant video or a chat video. I guess it's more of a chat video. I don't really have to rant about these things. But today I wanted to talk about, because today is, if you don't know, you probably don't, because how would you know when I film this? Today is the day that Monsta X's Who Do You Love music video came out, and when I heard about the music video coming out and I heard about this release, which I've already heard the song and I just watched the music video right before I started filming this. I felt it was appropriate. When this first came out, it got me thinking about all of these American singles that have been coming out recently, where K-pop groups collab with an American artist and they release a single in the US, and then I turn on my radio in my car after work and I hear it on the radio and I'm like, what the heck? My phone's not on, my music isn't on, like what is this on the radio? Why are Monsta X on the radio? Which I haven't heard Monsta X yet. I have heard BTS, which blew my mind. But today I want to talk about American singles and if I think that they're completely necessary into the American market. I have made a video before talking about K-pop groups becoming more popular in the United States and trying to promote more in the United States. So I will go ahead and link that video up above right now if you want to check that out to hear my thoughts on that. But really, we're just going to talk about American singles in this video. So the first thing I want to say is that I do enjoy American singles from K-pop groups. I do enjoy these American collabs, and I think that it's super cool that American artists and Korean artists want to work together these days. Because, you know, the big thing that turns a lot of people off of K-pop is the fact that it's in Korean, which is silly because that's the K in K-pop is Korean. American K-pop singles usually consist of singing in English, which is either really good or it's awful. Sorry, it's one of those two. Monsta X's Who Do You Love, I think, was really good. I'm gonna talk about that a lot because that's the most recent American single that's on my mind, but there are other American singles I will reference in this video. I'm also a Mon Bebe, so obviously I'm a little biased towards Monsta X, but I also love NCT and BTS and Blackpink, so I will mention all of those groups as well. But Mon Bebe, I feel like I should talk about Monsta X first. Also, this is their first American single, so yeah, there's obviously room for improvement in it. So it usually consists of a group singing in English with a featuring either in the chorus, or in Monsta X's case it was a rapper, French Montana, who I had literally never heard of before this video. Sorry, I've probably heard some of his music before, but I just didn't realize it was him. I'm really bad at American artists. I'm the worst American music fan in the entire world, honestly. It features that member, or a random person, and the way that I see it is that American singles are good. I like American singles. I think that it's a good way for there to be more content from your favorite K-pop group. Also a higher chance of hearing it on the radio as opposed to a K-pop song, though BTS's Boy With Love was amazing that I have heard it so many times on the radio, when I have literally never heard a K-pop song on the radio before, but I've heard this song so many times on the radio on my way to work, which I don't usually listen to the radio on my way to work, but sometimes I will if I'm like, I don't know, if I turn on my car and I hear a good song, I'll usually listen to the radio. If it's not a good song, if it's like that country town song, then we gotta turn the radio off real fast. Good way to promote your group. Am I a big fan of American albums and American physical releases? No. And I'll tell you why. I think American singles are a good way to promote yourself, but when you start singing lots of music in English and you start releasing more English music a year than Korean music, are you really still like a K-pop group? Because I've always felt, and I will always feel this way, to my knowledge, I will let you know if I ever don't feel this way, but I've always felt with overseas promotions, whether it's in Japan or China or US or Europe or wherever it is, I've always felt that for a K-pop group, Korean promotions are the most important and should be priority over other groups. And I'm not saying Monsta X should have released another album at this point, because they just released a full-length album. They're releasing singles in Japan as well right now. I'm just saying, which hasn't really happened to anyone yet. But if let's take BTS for example, because I feel like this is most likely to happen or be something presented to BTS in the future. I don't know if they'll actually do it, because they've mentioned before that they would like to keep singing in Korean, which I find very admirable, and I think Boy With Love is proof that you can sing in Korean. You can release a song that's in Korean in America and be able to make it to the radio and do really well I think that that is completely possible for NCT. I think it's possible for Blackpink. I also think it's possible for Monsta X and any group that tries to move into the American market. I think that they could release a song in Korean, maybe with an English person's, like somebody who speaks English in the song, like they had Halsey in the song, and there was a lot more English in Boy With Love than there has been in past songs, but none of the rappers in BTS rapped in English. None of the vocalists had only vocal parts, only English parts for their lines. They had vocal, or what am I trying to say? They had English parts and also Korean parts. So I think that it's perfectly fine for K-pop groups to release songs in Korean and for them to do well in America. BTS is proof of that that is possible. If a group, I guess this actually would probably be more likely for Monsta X. If Monsta X or NCT are probably the two, I would think, or Blackpink, because they have so many members who know English and who English is one of their, either their first language or it's a language they're fluent in. Releasing a full album in English, I personally would not be excited about that. If Monsta X, my ultimates, if they announced that they were going to release an album in English, would I buy it? Yes, because I'm garbage. But also, would I be as excited about it as I was when they announced their latest Korean comeback or their latest Japanese comeback? No, I wouldn't. And I'll tell you why. Because I am an old K-pop lady. I've been in K-pop for 10 years this year. I enjoy K-pop not just because it's in Korean, but I think that most K-pop artists sound best when they're singing in Korean. I think that Who Do You Love is a great song, but I am upset with the line distribution. Kihyun and Chungkyun, don't really have that many lines in the song. They have the chorus, which is kind of what the music video showed, which is what my theory was, that they both sing the chorus with Shonu, but they don't really have any lines in the song. IM is the only member who speaks English, and he had no lines. He sang the chorus with Kihyun. So I don't like the line distribution in most American songs. I just don't think that they work very well. I also think that it's just harder to sing a song in Korean or in English than it is in Korean. I don't know. I like American singles. I think they're cute, but I would not like them to become the main focus. I would like them to be almost like Japanese singles, where you get them every so often, or you're supposed to get them every so often. Some groups live in Japan, but you get them every so often in between Korean comebacks. Or you get an English song or an English version of, actually, I don't even want an English version of any of Monsta X's title tracks. I don't want that. I would prefer them to release their own songs in English. With proper line distribution. I am happy that this song got a music video because I wasn't sure if it was going to or not, but I'm happy it got a music video. Yeah, but I would not like Monsta X to go a year and a half without a comeback, which is extremely abnormal for them. They release multiple albums a year right now. Going over a year without a Korean album to release multiple English singles is not something I would like to see from them as a K-pop fan. As a American fan, if I came along Monsta X and, was not the way that I am, but if I was just a casual American listener, say I hated K-pop, I'd heard of K-pop, and I was like, why are they singing in Korean? What is this language? And I heard an English song from a K-pop group, I would want more English songs from them, probably. And that's fine and all, but I don't know. I don't really like that aspect of moving into the American market. You can be in the American market with your Korean albums. That's fine by me. You can release a collab single every once in a while just for fun because there's an artist you want to work with and they want to work with you and you want to release a song together. That's cool. I think that's super fun. But I don't want it to become the norm in K-pop because I think then we're going to really get away from K-pop. I also just don't like American promotions as much as K-pop promotions. America's music industry is not made the same way as Korea's. Korea has all these music shows, we have lots of variety programs. I feel like these K-pop artists are going on the same 3 or 4 shows, and I don't watch any of those shows. I don't care about any of those shows, and I'm not watching it for them to ask the same 3 questions to K-pop artists. I would rather them promote in Korea and be asked actual, real questions about their music and the members and what's going on with them, and not the same 3 questions that you have seen in every single K-pop interview, especially for ones that aren't BTS, where they talk to them about BTS. That doesn't happen in Korea. They don't turn to, when they're on a music show and doing an interview, they're not like, how do you feel about BTS's new single? And they're like, I don't know, because, you know, they're super cool or like whatever. They don't get asked that in Korea. How do you feel about BTS's US success? Like, I don't know. So that is also a big part of it. I feel like if they were to release if any K-pop group was to release an album in English, they would spend a lot of time in the US trying to promote this song on, or their album on, a bunch of American TV programs that no K-pop fans really care about. And there's a lot of people who don't know about K-pop who are trying to pretend that they do for the show. Like, if there were actual people who knew about K-pop doing these programs and doing these interviews, I feel like it would be much better. And I'm not talking about, I don't know, if they're like, I feel like I would enjoy this a lot more, but because they're not, I don't watch like any interviews from America, honestly, because I've watched a couple and they're all the same to me. And, you know, I see tweets about what they get asked, so why would I have to watch the video or watch the show? So I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, that is my thoughts on American singles. I think that they're really good and I think that they can be super fun, but I don't want releasing American albums to become priority over releasing Korean albums. I really like the way BTS does it right now, or like Blackpink released songs where they sang in Korean and then the featuring sang in English, and I think that's good, and I think those are fun. But you know, BTS already have another Korean comeback planned and they promote in Korea. They don't promote for as long as they used to, because let's be real, they're like really busy people now. But I don't know, I really like the way BTS do it, and I hope that all of these groups whose companies are trying to follow BTS, it's true, I'm not even an ARMY, but I will say that there are a lot of K-pop groups who are trying to do what BTS is doing for American success, which is fine. I think that's completely fine, and I think that everybody is doing it in their own separate way, but I just think a lot of the influence is from the way BTS has done it. Also, can we stop putting rookies on American TV? What was TXT doing in America? No, no, TXT, go back to Korea. I think that's the other thing. You need to establish all of the other groups who are going to America, Blackpink, BTS, Monsta X, NCT 127. They all have solid Korean fan bases. TXT does not have a solid Korean fan base yet. They've released one mini album. So that's my other thing, is keep the rookies out of America. Let's like focus, and Japan, like it's the same thing. Keep your rookies in Korea until they have a solid Korean fan base to fall back on. Say that the Japanese debut doesn't work out, or the Korean or the American debut doesn't really do that well. You have a solid Korean fan base you can go back to. When you send rookies off to America without a solid Korean fan base, yeah, that worries me a lot. So yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.